Hey y'all, what's good? It's Nachintheraw. I'm so glad you're here today. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you've liked and subscribed because we need to get out here, y'all. So, and of course, if you have any comments about what I talk about today, feel free to leave me a comment. I get that and I will respond. Also, you can come visit me on Facebook at Nachintheraw, and also like and subscribe there. Also on Instagram, I am Nachintheraw, and I host stuff on Instagram TV. On Twitter, I am Nash Big B. Yes, that's my name they gave me back in college. That's a whole nother story. So I wanted to share some words of encouragement today with you once again, because this is what we do, right? So a little bit of your bread and butter. I read something this week and it really motivated me. And then the rest of the week, I'm going to say this occurred on Tuesday and then Wednesday. And today I got just confirmation over and over, seeing the same thing going on, the same theme as before going on. So I just want to read something that I have read. No matter how clear the call to change or repentance, whatever it may be, there were always those who refuse to respond and who need to hear the word afresh. That means what to you? So no matter how many people we talk to, no matter how many things we say, no matter how much we try to warn or how much we try to give advice or suggestions to other people, or just do the kind of basic good of being there for someone else, oftentimes what happens when people are used to you being their friend, being their sibling, being their parent, is that they shut their ear down to what you've got to say to them. There doesn't need to be a consistent relationship, but sometimes when they've seen and heard everything you've got to say, they are just done and they shut down. So it doesn't matter how clear it is that it's coming out that this person needs to change, to repent, to become to a better life or a better way of doing things, or just a different style. If they're tired and they shut down their listening to you, they need to hear it from someone fresh. And haven't we all seen how you could tell your kids 1,000 times, this is what it is. No, this is what it is. And 3 days later, this is what it is. And you want to just say, this is what it is. But they don't listen because they know more than we do. Just like we knew more than our parents, right? And so then they come back a few days later, a few weeks, months, and they say, guess what? I got a bright idea. I was talking to so-and-so, and this is what they suggested. And when that's happened to me, many times I want to say, didn't I tell you the same thing? And actually, at the beginning, when that of our teenage years, when that started to occur, I did say that, but then I caught myself. And I realized at that point that it didn't matter what I said to my own child, she was going to want to hear it from someone else. So just to get a little bit of the word, yes, this today is going to have a little bit of the word. I was reading Philemon. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. In the Bible, and it talks about how because Israel, God's people, were inconsistent with how they followed God. Like they would follow him for a little bit and then stop following him and go back to idolatry. Other people began to do the same thing they were doing. And it just goes to show nowadays that because we can be so inconsistent in what we want to do, people fail to believe what we're saying, to trust in what we're saying, and also they will follow in that same kind of footsteps. Our kids will follow in those same kind of footsteps, or they will try to mimic what we have done instead of realizing that we have become a person of change, etc. It isn't until someone else who notices your change and who has consistently seen that change comes to your defense that people actually believe and truly see that this is a true change or a difference in you or what you are trying to do. When someone who is either viewed or should be seen as being close to you goes against you, it makes it so much easier for others to follow. What does that mean? If I am consistently talking negatively about my daughter or my son, then it's going to make it easier for someone to say something negative about them in front of me, despite of the fact that I'm the parent. And doesn't that bother us? Because no one wants to hear someone else talk about their child, talk about their mama. Don't talk about mine. And I used to always say, I'll talk about my mama, but you can't. But the reality is that I didn't realize I was opening those doors for people to feel comfortable, whether I was in front of them or not, to speak against a family member or, a friend. And when that began to happen to me, that people began to feel so comfortable that they can talk to other people negatively about me, then I began to wonder, well, why are you allowing them to speak these things in front of you at all? Or why wouldn't you defend me? Why didn't you come out and say the truth? Because for me, truth is such a big thing. And when someone is doing something wrong, my mama knows it could be her, but I will tell people in a minute, and I will really say, no, that's wrong because of blase, blase. And the truth is, that's just the way I felt, but I didn't realize the realm where I was allowing people to, I was desiring people to accept this truth, but I was allowing them to hear the negative talk that I had to say about other people, which then opened the door for them to follow and speak negatively about them. So in the Bible verse that I wrote, when the Israelites were doing all of this destruction and all of this carrying on of negative behavior, other people began to follow. But it's funny because Paul, who was against Christ followers, finally reconciled and gave his life to Christ. He changed his life completely and was in jail, but he became a big leader amongst those that were jailed with him. And then what he did was plead out to other people that were against those people and let them know, listen, forgive their debts, forgive what they owe you. I will pay for it when I come out. Forgive that they hurt you, because I've seen the good nature, and because you're my friend and now they have become my friend or my family, let's all just try to put things behind us and move forward. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in, it's hard to do that, especially when people have done so many wrongs that it's hard to even know who's telling the truth and who's telling a lie, and what gains they want from certain things. And that really saddens me, because no one should feel like they have to try to figure out whether or not they need to trust somebody. It should just be clear by a person's actions and what they're doing, but it's not always that clear. The same thing happens in relationships like marriages. And I want to speak on this because sometimes when we speak negative or the negative things of our marriages to other people, that will then cause them to believe or to start doing and talking about negative things into your marriage. Well, you say he ain't no good anyway, so just let him go. You are strong enough by yourself. You don't need no man, so just let it go. Or get up and go, or let's go out and just hang out and chill and meet some other people. He don't pay attention to you anyways. So we have to be careful with our words, whether it's about our spouses, whether it's about our boyfriend or girlfriend that we are looking to hold a future relationship with in marriage, whether it's about our children, whether it's about our family members. Be careful who you're venting to, because we all do need to vent, but be careful who you're saying these words to, because you are opening the door for those people and possibly others to engage in the same negative type of behavior, to pour negative language into your relationship with your family or friendships that you have, and to feel like it's okay to say these things about people which you have just tried to release some negative energy about. So know that, one, this is going to be my common theme. 3 things that I will let you know. that we're finishing up with. Your situation may look far worse than someone else's because it is affecting your emotions, mentally, your thought process, and sometimes physically. So you feel every end of it. But know that another person may not, or almost never, is sharing their full story with you. So if they not giving you negativity about what's going on in their life, don't share. That's a sign right there that they're looking for you to tell them all your business and your negative stuff, so then they could walk and talk about that negativity. 2, don't compare yourself to others, and don't allow others to compare you to others. Don't put into your relationships with your family, your friends, or your children, or acquaintances, co-workers, etc., the same pressures that it may seem others are putting or doing in their own lives. Watch what you say about those people who you don't want anyone else to talk about. When you build something, it takes time, and sometimes it gets torn down, but then you come back when it gets torn down and you restore it. Everything has a process. We've been building here in the United States, right? We build, and then a storm, a hurricane, a earthquake, fires can destroy everything. But then you take that moment that is for you to begin from that tear down, to begin to restore and build it up different, and build it up stronger, and build it up full of positivity and good energy. So with that said, if there's something that you have built up and it's time for you to tear it down so that you could restore yourself and become a better person, it's never too late. Go ahead and do that. Get on your private space and start figuring out, journal it, write down the things that you need to change or that you want to make better for yourself, so that you can restore a genuine love and affection towards others, and also put some boundaries to what people know and are able to say about your own circle to you or to others. So thank you for listening. If you got any comments, please mark them below. I'll see you next time. Nachintheraw. Bye, y'all. Love y'all.